into our Elite Crown and unlisted on YouTube. So what I would like to do is really look at your body in terms of your business, your success, and your zone of genius. And what I want you to think about is there is the element of your service being the absolute element of what lights you up, what motivates you, what excites you. But what I also want you to think about is if you've got a service and you've got all of these elements that may be kind of floating around, and so many people feel like they can't talk about certain things, or they can't, if they get an idea or a download that they want to share, they can't share it because they've been told by a teacher or some book or somewhere along the line that that will be confusing, right? So you've got to stay on track. You've got to do things this way and this way and this way. But when you can learn to become an energetic match for your dream client, this is what will happen. You will tune into the universe. You will tune into your body. You will really feel the groundedness of saying to yourself, if you do not feel inspired, you've got to embody that. But if you do feel inspired, I don't want you to throw that out the window and say, oh, I can't do that because that wasn't written in the book of rules, or that wasn't the way they taught us how to do marketing. I want you to consider that this is a download from the heavens, and if you don't exhibit it, somebody else will. Somebody else will catch that idea and go out. So I want you to look at yourself as a multi-dimensional being who knows how to tap into your superpower. And your superpower is the gift of when you are totally in your sweet spot, when you are in flow, when you are speaking about and doing and being who you want to be. But as you tap into your soul, what is it that you would love to bring to the world as a no-brainer? What would you love to show up doing that you feel excited about? Now, if that was the case, maybe just jot down some ideas as we're going through this. So your pipeline, okay, what is a pipeline? Well, a pipeline is a word like a funnel, but it's not so, I guess, robotic. So think of a pipeline as, you know, rather than you feeling like you have to go out there trying 100,000 different things, it is you showing up in your natural element and showing up in how you want to show up, and then having a pipeline. Now, what does that pipeline look like? The pipeline looks like when you show up, that's your free service. That is you branding yourself and telling the world, I'm here. And as people get to know you and hear about your philosophies, you might talk one day on, you know, health and the ability to be mindful about eating. And then the next day you might show up and say, well, actually, this is about relationships and the fact that when you were younger, you may have had something that happened to you that actually left a big landmark on your heart. And as a result, you've turned to food, or you've turned to whatever niche, or you've sabotaged yourself in whatever way. So don't feel like you cannot talk about different topics. show up as yourself and talk about what comes to you and what is on your mind. And then when it comes to the pipeline, it's like, well, what is it that everybody wants? What is it that you've got that every single body, every single person would want? And it's such a no-brainer that you would be happy because you could do it with your eyes shut, you could do it while you're in your sleep and dream about it, right? And so that is your low ticket. So it's something, it's like your fundamental zone of genius. But then we're going to jump from your fundamental low ticket. Now, write down ideas. If you get ideas like, for me personally, mine's all about the genius zone. So it kind of was an evolution. It was about the podcast. And then one of my superpowers is talking. And so I did it for fun. I really did a podcast for fun. And then as I was speaking to more and more people, I realized, hang on a minute, I'm bringing out everybody's zone of genius. I have a knack of fanning into flames and pulling out of people what is inside them and what brings them to life and lights them up. So if I asked you that question, what is that absolute thing you could do, and you could do it absolutely in your sleep? That is your low ticket program. And I want you to think about this. Don't you think, if you haven't branded yourself for the last 3 years, say, if you've only just sort of put yourself out there, and when I say branding, really, guys, if we talk about it from the psychological human point of view, you've got to be able to show up enough times that people hear you and see you, and after a while they get to know your core. So you need to have a core. So what's my core? The zone of genius. What's your core? Write it down. What's your core belief? If you've got a whole load of other things, I've got good news for you, because this is incorporated in your high ticket. But the most important thing here is, what is your core value of what you truly believe, if you can tap into it? And how it is so easy for you to do. Now, it might only be 55 USD, right? But now I want you to think about this. Imagine, like, I built up a container of 24 people between December and January, which is the quietest times of the year when everybody's doing Christmas and family stuff. So either all the other coaches went to sleep, but that's what I did. I built a container with 24 people from a no-brainer. Now I've had to pull back, put my price up, and actually rehash it, because that's the way it goes. So what is your low ticket? What is your high ticket? What is your core offer that literally, if everything got burnt to the ground, guys, imagine everything got burnt to the ground. I really want you to put yourself into this headspace. If everything that you teach, taught, and are going to offer got burnt to the ground, what's the one thing? What's the one thing? Write it down, because this is going to help you build your pipeline. What is being triggered in you that is coming up for you around success, money, and showing up? So what is the biggest trigger for you? So, okay, so for example, do you feel, where is your void? Where is there any kind of feeling of lack. Okay, so that's low frequency. And then I want you to be really emotionally intelligent and remember this. If you really thought about what's going on in that frequency, does it come from a place of fear, shame, or guilt? What lights you up the most about your business and offer? And what is challenging you that you feel is the hardest thing about that? What is the biggest challenge of getting what lights you up out there? Write it down. If you can write that down, these are the questions you're going to be asking me in Voxer, and we are going to go through a very, very powerful process in just a moment. Are you connecting from your heart, or are you stuck in your head? When you're connected from your heart, this is the space of love. This is the space of light. And this is the space of truly being able to channel your greatness. So now that you've got these questions, what I would like you to now do is I would like you to just go through your body and search for where you are blocked. So I want you to go into where you are feeling blocked right now and just trust right here that the process of what we are doing is going to know. Okay, so as you now channel where the block is, just move into your body. I want you to start from your head and I want you to move down through. And I want you to feel where the constriction is. So I'm feeling there's a sense here on the chest, the solar plexus. And so I don't know whether that belongs to me or whether that is somebody in the group, but I am feeling a real heaviness. It's almost like actually what Sherry was talking about at the beginning, where it's like pressure. It's like this incredible pressure. So I just want you to know that I feel I'm just going to ask and channel if this is mine or somebody else's. It's not mine because it left me soon as I asked. So it's someone here. Okay. So it just could be a coincidence that Sherry did explain that feeling to me. But with everything, your body never lies. Your body keeps the score for everything. So I'm just going to introduce some music. And once I get the music up and running, I want you to get ready to move into a space of where you are going to be channeling your dream client, your most incredible day of your life, like what that looks like, and what you are doing that's bringing you to life and that is lighting you up, and it just feels so successful. So I want you to imagine that you can see that. Now, as you see this, I want you to notice what it is that you are doing that you love doing the most, and you are in complete presence. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask for you to see an image of your other self. That is the self that has been suffering, that has been blocked, standing on the left-hand side. And as you see yourself and a vision of yourself, I want you to float into the vision of yourself on the left. Now, as you float in, I want you to experience where in your body you are feeling tension, where in your body you are feeling the block around your deepest desire. And I want you to sense whether it is high up, whether it is perhaps further down, or even whether it is right down in your stomach. Now, I want you to ask yourself, what is holding me back? Is this a place of fear? Do I feel afraid about doing something? Is this a place of guilt? That could even mean that if you are really successful, that you may feel there's repercussions. Just feel into that. Or is there a deep-seated shame? A shame that you are hiding and you don't want that part of you, certain parts of you revealed. And what I want to do is I want to ask your head chemist if I have permission to allow you to clear this. So as I ask for permission, I would like you to imagine that on the right, where you are thriving, where you are glowing, where you are lit up, where you are exuding your zone of genius, it's like you've suddenly developed the art of knowing exactly what to do. It's like you see that there is a start and a flow as you take people through that flow zone. But you also realize that it's so evolutional, it's so natural, and it's so intuitive that you meet people exactly where they're at. But in this vision of you that is empowered, this person knows her zone of genius. She knows because it comes from a deep core value that she is so much wanting to impart to the world, that comes from a place and a space where you know better, where you've been through it, where you know what it's like, and you are making a stand and you are saying, I have the master key. I have the solution. And in your Noah, in your inner spirit, this pipeline is your strategy. But it's not important that the world knows what your strategy is. It's only important that you hold that strategy within to know what you have, from your no-brainer to your highest flagship service that is your greatest offer. So as you now see the empowered side, but you're inside that old version and you're searching, maybe it's a fear of being seen. Is that scared? Is it shame-based? Or maybe it's a fear or shame of being heard. So now what I want you to do is I want you to embody whatever that is, whether it's something that's affecting you in being seen or being heard. Or perhaps it's being judged. Now, if it's judgment, I want you to know that that is right in the solar plexus. And inside the solar plexus is that space where you hold memory that you can release. So I want to ask the brain chemist to release the love, oxytocin, and let that circulate, that love, oxytocin, circulate into your solar plexus, where any judgment or fear of judgment is going to be diffused. But as you embody it, and as you thank that part of you, I want you to imagine that you're letting it go and it's releasing all the way down, right down through the soles of your feet. And it's coming out as dense energy. And as it comes out in dense energy, I want you then to send the oxytocin right into that space and light it up with this beautiful light. And as you light that up with unconditional love, I want you then to move that light up to the throat chakra. Now, the throat chakra is where you're going to release your voice and activate it. So if there's any shame in being heard, if there's any fear in voicing, if there's any kind of guilt about speaking out your message and feeling like you may make somebody else feel small, I want you to acknowledge that now and thank it. And I want you to imagine that that feeling is now dissolving and moving down through your body, right down through to the bottom of your feet. And through the soles of your feet, it is coming out and it's joining that other piece with that dense energy out in front of you. And now I want you to send healing light and imagine there is a golden light from the sun and it is connecting in through the crown of your head. And the oxytocin that is being released by the subconscious is also sending the endorphins and the oxytocin and the dopamine all the way to the throat. And just feel it circulating and feel your throat unlocking, unleashing. Just place your hands around your throat gently and just feel like it's expanding and feel the golden light. And that golden light that is bringing through that chakra. And now I want you to imagine that you are turning to being seen. as you think about showing up and being seen, I want you to notice if there's any blocks. And with your own eyes, I want you to allow them to be healed. I would like the brain chemist to send the healing waves of oxytocin, dopamine, and all the right enzymes, endorphins, that is going to purify your eyes. And as your eyes are being purified, it's like you are sun gazing, and now you are receiving this beautiful feeling of love. And we're going to allow that feeling from where your eyes are all the way down to where your throat is, to be golden light coming from the crown of your head all the way down through, and then let it release right across your shoulders and down through the solar plexus. And as you feel that golden light swirling, we're going to go deep, deep down now into your sensual organs. We're going to imagine that your hips and that area of your private organs is going to now be completely awakened with golden light. All shame or guilt, I want you to imagine that there is a healing happening right within your inner stomach, moving through the vital organs. And as it expands into golden light, I want you to have a sense that your chest is now expanding, your hips are expanding, your throat is expanding, and your third eye is being awakened. And now I want you to imagine your whole body is filled with love and light, and any dense energy is going to now exit. Any negative energy that is around your success, that is around holding you back. All the old stories releasing. And as you feel them releasing out of the core soul of your feet, I want you to notice that this dense energy has now become like this large symbol. But I want you to see that symbol and let it rise up in front of you, and notice that your body is filled with love and light. And I want you to breathe onto that symbol. And what you're going to do is you're going to thank it. You're going to thank it for every challenge and every negative feeling that you felt. Just let go of any energy that is left inside your body that you no longer need. Let it go. Someone is holding on to something. Someone is holding something, and it seems to be in the middle here, in this mid area. I want to ask you the question, what are you holding on to? Are you prepared to release it, even if it is just to allow yourself that space to release it for just a short time? If you really want it back, you have permission to have it back. But if you discover that you no longer need this, I want you to understand that whatever higher purpose it holds for holding you and holding this, I want you to let it go. Even if just temporarily, just let it go. And I want you to do so by breathing with your mouth out as a symbol of letting go, so that you are simply blowing like you are blowing out of a straw. and go all the way out. And I want you to imagine that you're blowing out again, because I can still feel it. So blow out. And I want you to do that one more time, blowing out. Now I want you to notice that symbol of dense energy is moving up, and it had a divine purpose, because it gave you your learnings, your power, your wisdom, and your genius zone. But I'm going to ask you now to send it up to the universe, to alchemize it. So breathing in through your nose and breathe out. Now, as you breathe out, I want you to see that it is releasing and going up into the heavens. And I want you to do that again, but this time breathing in. So in through your nose, and you're going to expand your chest. And then as you expand your chest, I want you to breathe out through your mouth and almost look up and see it going up to the heavens. And then one more time, breathe in through your nose. And with a great big sigh, breathe it out through to the heavens and let it go, let it float right up, and let it be right up to the stars, right up to the planet. And I want you to trust that it's being alchemized. Now I want you to feel yourself as just this complete channel of light. You are now both sides, the old side and the new, now merging together. So as you merge together, I want you to bring it into yourself, this light, and light yourself up, feeling so present. I want you to channel, and I want you to say this: I am divinely rich. I am divinely made. I have an important message. I am giving my message to the world. I stand in my rock solid certainty of what I truly believe. I speak out with the voice of power. I show up knowing that I could save somebody's life. I could make a difference in the ripple of effect of so many others' lives. I want you to say, I am the legacy. I am the legacy for my family. I am the legacy of my generation. I want you to place your hand up and decree, I dissolve, clear, and release all fear, all shame, and all guilt. And I alchemize it by bringing in and calling in the highest frequency of the highest power of love, peace, joy, prosperity, abundance. Now let this feeling of love, peace, joy, and abundance fill your spirit. Ground into it, seeing the codes, knowing the codes. Now I want you to notice that all of what you're shredding, all of what you've released is now moving off your body. And I want you to say, I am ageless, I am timeless. I release all excess baggage. I treat my body as a temple. My body is a sacred temple. I eat when I am hungry. I eat what I truly desire. I stop when I feel good. I eat consciously. My body, say this after me, my body is a sacred temple. I cleanse it by drinking water. I release all baggage, all excess kilos, and I strengthen every muscle and I move it out so it releases from me and goes to the heavens to be alchemized. And it returns as my ray of light. It returns as my zone of genius. It returns as my ageless, timeless body and my billion-dollar energy. I decree to just allow this to be. I trust my higher self. I decree to be a channel for the people that I am going to reach. I will speak slowly, with feeling, with love. I will show my story. I will impart my wisdom and I will stand in the truth of my value. And now I receive. And just open your arms up to receive. Open your chest and your solar plexus and let the light of your zone of genius come down now from the heavens. So all of the excess fat, baggage, weight, fear, shame, guilt, anything that's held back has been completely cleared and renewed by the heavens, by the alchemy of the sun and the planet and your star. And now it's coming down and it's going to completely come down to you as wisdom. You're going to receive it as wisdom. Say, I receive this as wisdom. I stand in my glorious body. I am a frequency that the world feels. I receive my riches and I claim my right to speak and be seen and to be completely in my zone of iconic superpower. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. And I'm going to bring you back and I want you to come back knowing that you've come back into becoming and agreeing to become a multidimensional person, knowing that your multidimensional self is now a whole, a wholesome part of you instead of all of these parts and pieces that felt scattered, that felt so lacking. And now you are whole. Say, I am whole. I am multidimensional. And now with that, I thank you for being so incredibly open to this powerful journey. And that concludes our cellular repair to release, clear, and transmute all of that negative energy and those imprints, and to empower it into your greatest glory.